And I know this stuff is totally anecdotal, but I always make it a point to talk to Uber drivers and cab drivers when I'm in a new place. So I landed in Grand Rapids, Michigan yesterday, and I asked the Uber driver what he thinks about the election. He looks back at me at a red light and he says one word. He says Trump. And I asked him why. He told me that he's originally from Puerto Rico, had a hat on with the Puerto Rican flag, and he said it's basically because my family can't afford anything. It's all about money. Then I'm on my way back to the airport this morning, another Uber driver in a pickup truck, by the way, and I asked him the same question, what do you think about the election? And he told me that he's picked up a lot of people over the last several months canvassing in the state of Michigan, knocking on doors, I guess. And when I asked him what they were telling him, he said, Trump in a landslide. Don't believe what you read in the papers. So there's that. I thought that was interesting. Again, anecdotal. I land. CNN is out with a new poll this morning. Kamala is leading Trump by 5, according to CNN. But don't forget, sometimes these polls at this late stage in the game are meant to just reinforce what people want to hear. And think about people who like CNN and enjoy that content. They want to hear that Kamala's up by 5 in Michigan. I can also tell you that people at my hotel, they were not happy when they couldn't take the elevators up to their rooms last night. So I get back to the hotel after the town hall. Turns out Bill Clinton just arrived at the same hotel, which is kind of weird. I slept in the same building as Bill Clinton last night. Nothing happened. I didn't see him. But I guess his security team had to sweep the floor he was sleeping on and take over the elevators for a little while. So people were not happy in the lobby. The hotel, also really odd about the whole thing, they wouldn't say who was staying at the hotel. But then people saw Bill Clinton. And I was like, guys, look, it's Bill Clinton. Relax. It's not Mick Jagger. I just want to go up to my room, take a shower, go to bed. His bus, too, as you can see, priceless. In big, bold letters, a new way forward. So Bill Clinton, at one time the most popular politician on the planet, has been reduced to riding around in a bus meant for a true has-been with a message on the side that's actually a Trump message. I've decided this is a Trump message, a new way forward. So vote for Donald Trump. So Kamala and Tim have a bus that has a Trump message on it. So where are we today in the race 6 days out? Well, if you're one of the 74 million people that voted for Donald Trump in 2020, you are a piece of garbage, according to Joe Biden. Filth, scum, swill. Listen.
The Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable. And it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done.
Every time I see Joe Biden now, I'm stunned that he's still our president. Hillary Clinton called Trump voters deplorable in 2016, and it might have cost her the election. Kamala has spent the month of October calling Trump voters Nazis and fascists. And as you just heard, Joe Biden thinks that half of America, garbage. Kamala also says that if Trump wins, he's going to use the military to go after people he doesn't like.
Donald Trump intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him. People he calls, quote, the enemy from within.
Trump was talking about Adam Schiff, a California congressman, when he made those comments, by the way. That is a fact. So here's where we are today. New betting odds just out. They moved overnight in Trump's favor yet again after the garbage comment. He's now at over 65% with people, again, who are actually betting money on who wins this race. And for the last 4 days, ever since a comedian told jokes, not at church, by the way, this wasn't a first communion. The jokes were told at a rally at Madison Square Garden on Sunday night. That's a building where they serve beer, wine, and cocktails 5 hours before Donald Trump was even in that building, by the way. So Trump supporters are racist, but when Joe Biden calls half the country garbage, the media bend over backwards to defend him. Take a listen.
It's certainly a story on the right who are trying to paint this to be the next basket of deplorables.
Here, they're trying to make a firestorm out of something that, again, if you look at it, you look at what he said immediately afterward, which Donald Trump didn't say. He immediately afterwards said, no, that's not what I meant. I was talking about the comedian and people that supported that kind of talk.
So Kamala Harris, not known for her big brain or her charisma, She defended Joe Biden on the tarmac in Washington, which was just the wrong move. And I'm going to play the sound for you in a moment. But here we are. We're less than a week from a really important election. This could have been a defining moment for Kamala Harris. And I hate to use this language, but basically this could have been the moment once and for all where she could have separated herself from the old fool in the White House. And I hate to give Democrats advice, but Kamala should have come out and said, no matter who wins next week, on January 20th, America's going to have a new president. I do not agree with what Joe Biden said. Trump supporters are not garbage. And even though we might disagree on issues, we're all Americans. I love Joe Biden, but he was wrong. Instead, we got this.
Let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. I respect the challenges that people face. I respect the fact that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. I've been very clear from my earliest years as a prosecutor. I never asked anyone, are they a Democrat or Republican? The only thing I ask folks is, are you okay? And that's the kind of president I will be.
She's just not a leader. This could have been a moment for her, a big moment. But wait. Maybe Biden called half of America garbage because of that stutter that he had 75 years ago. He's 81 and a half now. That's interesting. Maybe he said that Trump supporters are garbage, but he meant to say they were great. Take a listen to the CNN defense.
Joe Biden has never been a big arena speaker. He's never been the most fluid speaker. And by the way, as someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters there. He was referring to the garbage spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves.
All right, so you hear it there. The problem with that, of course, if old Joe was stuttering, he would have corrected himself. He would have said, I beg your pardon. I just said garbage. I meant to say great. Trump supporters are great. I have a stutter. You haven't seen the stutter in 60 years, but it comes back every now and again. I can't figure this part out, actually. On the one hand, if Joe Biden does have dementia, maybe he doesn't know that he's hurting Kamala when he does stuff like this. But on the other hand, if Joe Biden does have dementia, it might make stabbing Kamala Harris in the back a little bit easier. I haven't quite figured it out. I'm leaning toward the latter. I think he's doing this deliberately. I think the old man in the White House is really upset, really bitter. This is a guy with an ego the size of Mount Rushmore. He wants to be on Mount Rushmore, by the way. That will never happen.